Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today I will be listing top 10 Pokemon everybody hates. By everybody, I don't actually mean everybody. I'm sure there's a person who likes each Pokemon in list. There are probably hundreds of them. But by being part of the Pokemon community for years, I noticed that some Pokemon get very little love, almost none. And these are the Pokemon that I'm going to include on this list. I thought of titling this list like something like top 10 most hated Pokemon, but then it would also include Pokemon like Garbodor, who get a lot of hate, but also a lot of people defending them and actually liking them. And on this list I'm going to include Pokemon that just seem to not get any love at all. And also don't be mad at me if any of your favorite Pokemon make it on this list, because these are not top 10 Pokemon I hate. Those are just the Pokemon I observed a lot of other people hate. With that said, let's just get into the list. Number 10. Jinx. I honestly believe Jinx would be number 1 if it was part of any other generation than Gen 1. Because so many people feel nostalgic about Gen 1, so they honestly can't hate any Pokemon that's part on Gen 1. And I don't mean just people who grew up when Gen 1 came out. It also includes many newer players. For example, even me, I'm 15 years old, but I still feel at least slightly nostalgic about Gen 1. Because my first ever game was Pokemon Go, and in more than the first half year, it was just Kanto Pokemon. And I also, when I started playing Pokemon Go, started watching the Pokemon anime. And for the first few seasons, it was also just Gen 1 Pokemon. So I can somewhat understand why people look at all Gen 1 Pokemon with rose-tinted glasses. But still, Jinx definitely doesn't deserve any love. It looks just like a human woman with maybe slight Pokemon features, like the purple skin. And I honestly would be very surprised if anyone told me they actually liked Jinx at all. Number 9. Wikioiki. Wikidang is probably one of the least liked Gen 1 Pokemon, and a lot of the Gen 4 evolutions to previous Pokemon weren't very much liked. So Wiki was kinda doomed to fail, but still, I don't think his design looks great. His stomach is way too big, and his arms and legs are way too small. And also his face looks really derpy, and for some reason it has a Wi-Fi symbol or I don't know what else that is on his stomach. And I think a lot of people also have a problem with its name, Wikioiki. It just sounds kinda stupid. But I actually don't mind it. It's definitely not one of my favorite Pokemon, but I think it looks kinda cute in a really derpy way. Number 8. Aromatisse. Even though I wasn't part of the Pokemon community during the Gen 6 reveal cycle, I know a lot of people were excited about Spritzy's evolution after they saw Spritzy in a trailer for Pokemon X and Y. But then they got this thing. And it's just a mix of a Flamingo, a Can Dancer, and a Plague Doctor. I think a Flamingo Plague Doctor, or maybe even a Flamingo Can Dancer will look good on their own. But all that mixed together, it doesn't turn out well. And I don't even understand who is it supposed to appeal to. It's not cute, it's not cool, it doesn't have any derpy lovability. The only people I could actually understand this appealing to are furries. But I think even furries are more attracted to dogs or cats than birds, so maybe not even them. And I saw a dozen much better Spritzy evolutions made by fans online, so there was definitely potential there, but they just completely ruined it. Number 7. Love-Disc. As I said in my top 10 worst Pokemon designs video, Love-Disc has one of the worst designs of any Pokemon. It looks like his designer just took a generic heart, added a mouth, 2 eyes and 2 cheeks to it and called it a Pokemon design. And also, in Gen 5 we got a Mamola, which is probably the perfect evolution to Love-Disc. But since in Gen 5 none of the Pokemon can be evolutionally related to any of the previous Pokemon, Love-Disc is still a standalone Pokemon with no evolution. And it's also awful at battling, so you have really no reason to catch it. The only reason people even catch Aromatisse is either to complete the Pokédex or to grind hard skills. The only redeeming quality it has is its amazing shiny. It's purely gold, so it reminds me of the phrase the heart of gold, and I think that's really cool. Number 6. Unknown. A lot of people hate Unknown, partly because of their design. They are just letters or a question mark and exclamation mark with eyeballs on them. And I also hate them because they're bad at battling. They have poor base stat total and can only learn one move, Hidden Power, which only deals 60 base damage. But actually kinda like Unknown, because they're clearly a gimmicky Pokemon which is not meant to be used on a team by a player, and I'm really interested in its lore. They are clearly connected with Arceus, because in the Sinjar Ruins Event, Unknown fly around Arceus as is creating another of the creation trio. So could Unknown possibly be the 1,000 arms that help Arceus create the universe, are mentioned in one of Arceus' Pokédex entries. And I hope we'll get at least some answers to that, or at least some mention of Unknown in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Number 5. Fiona. I don't think Fiona is actually anybody's favorite Pokemon, because it's just a worse version of Manaphy in every single way. If you didn't know, you get Fiona by breeding Manaphy with a Ditto at a daycare, but Fiona can't actually evolve into Manaphy. They're both just standalone Pokemon. And Fiona is worse than Manaphy in battling, it's also less cute, and Fiona doesn't have any lore in the games about it. Like, I don't think any NPC even mentions Fiona. I think I would have liked it better if there were at least some explanation in the games to how Fiona came to be. But in the case it is, I don't think there's any reason for it to be in the game at all. Like, they could just never implement it in the games, and the games would be exactly the same. There's literally no reason for Fiona to even exist. Number 4. Watchog. I feel like about half of the Pokemon community completely forgot about Watchog, because it's just another forgettable Route 1 rodent, and the other half really hates him. His design admittedly isn't as boring as many of the other Route 1 rodents, but it doesn't look really great either. It looks like it's wearing a vest, which doesn't really translate that well to his design and its face. Oh boy, it looks like it's on some really hard drugs. And it's also not very good at battling, so I doubt anybody use it on its team apart from maybe like a HM slave. But a lot of Team Plasma Goons use it on their team, and they have a really throwy moveset. They have Hypnosis, Confuse Ray, and Super Fang, which annoyed a lot of players, which made them not really remember Watchog in a very fond way. Number 3. Probopath. Probopath is a floating, human-looking head made out of rocks with a mustache. Yes, I understand it's based on the Easter Island's heads, and that mustache is actually magnetic. But they still shouldn't have just taken an Easter Island's head, added a mustache to it, and named it a Pokemon, because it just looks so ugly and just out of place in the Pokemon world. The only reason I can understand somebody actually liking this thing is if they really like derpy Pokemon, because Probopath certainly looks really derpy. Number 10. Brimmie and Madam. In the comment sections of videos like top 10 worst Pokemon or my top 10 least favorite Pokemon from much bigger creators than I am, I saw a lot of people commenting like Brimmie and Madam are my least favorite Pokemon, or even I like every Pokemon other than Brimmie and Madam. So for that reason I decided to group them together, because the same people who hate Brimmie also hate Madam, and they hate them for the same reasons. And even though I think Brimmie looked kinda cute in Detective Pikachu when it fell out of its cover, in both Brimmie and Madam in the regular sprites actually look really ugly. And the other interesting thing they have about them is their form changing. Brimmie changes its form depending on the last place it battled, and the Madam you get depends on in what form Brimmie was when it evolved, and it's now permanently stuck in that form as a Madam. But having a lot of different forms doesn't really help you out if all of your forms are really ugly. And I know male Burmese evolve into Mothim, but I think most people just completely forgot about Mothim. Number 1. Simisage, Simipour, and Simisear. I think Simipage gets hated on less than the other two, but I also see them get hated on a lot as a group, so I decided to put them together on this list. And that's definitely part of it because all of them are really bad at battling. Before the first gym, depending on your starter, you get one of their pre-evolutions. So either Pansage, Panseer, or Pampor. And after defeating the first gym, I think most people just put them in their PC boxes. But I actually used my Panseer on my team, and even wanted it into Simisear, and actually used it on my team even to beat the league. And I can definitely confirm, it sucked. Like, I'm generally still surprised why I didn't just drop it off at the PC during the middle of the game. Because I was definitely more stubborn back then than I am right now. And also a lot of people hate on them even more because they have awful designs. In my Simipour is my least favorite Pokemon. I talked previously about how I think it looks more like a Mickey Mouse character than an actual Pokemon. But I also think the other two look really stupid as well. Not quite as stupid, but definitely really bad. And that's the list. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe consider liking it, or maybe even subscribing to my channel and clicking the bell button, so you get notified when I upload again. Both of those things will really help me out, especially because my channel is really small right now. And maybe even leave me a comment telling me, did you agree with my list? I hope I stayed as objective as I could have. And I think that's all I have to say for now, so I hope I'll see you again and bye!